Hello, I wasn't meant to be doing a video of the day, but there's been an announcement and I kind of have to talk about it because it is very relevant to Scottish football, and obviously by the title you know what that is. We'll get into that in a minute though. Obviously, Dunfermline fans that are here, you'll know that Dunfermline signings, departures, etc. have happened since the end of the season, and I will cover them at some point. Probably at the start of next week, after the full season is officially finished, when the playoff final and Scottish Cup final have taken place. So at the start of next week, expect more Dunfermline based videos about our season coming up, signings, departures, etc. But for now, yes, Steve Clarke has been announced as the new Scotland manager, and when Alex McLeish left his post about a month or so ago, maybe 2 months, when he left his post, I made a video and I said that Slaven Bilic would have been my preferred choice because I wanted us to go for a bit of a difference, and I think I spoke briefly about Steve Clarke in that video and said that I completely understood people backing Steve Clarke to be the new manager, but I didn't want it to kind of ruin the feeling that they've got going at Kilmarnock just now. But that decision has been taken by Steve Clarke to leave Kilmarnock on a high.
I'm sorry I didn't win your trophy, but I'm telling you now, as I stand here in front of 3 stands with Kilmarnock supporters, bye bye Rangers. For me, I take this. This is my trophy. Thank you.
And a massive high at that, considering that they've just qualified for European football and finished third for the first time since about 1966 and got European football for the first time in about 13 years. So it's unprecedented, the stuff that he's done at Kilmarnock since arriving there. And on top of that, he's been named the Manager of the Year, Manager of the Season for the season just past, the Scottish Football Writers Association Manager of the Year for the season just past, and Scottish Writer Football Association Manager of the Season for the season before last as well. So he's proven his worth in gold since coming into Kilmarnock. He really has turned that club around, and you could see by the crowd that was in that stadium at the weekend there just yesterday that the feeling that he got going at that club, it's unprecedented, as I've said already. It's just undeniable the amount of success that he's brought to that club in terms of finishing in their highest place since 1966, I think, or at least finishing third for the first time since 1966, and it's absolutely fabulous what he's done there. And the connection with the fans, he's got that and can bring that into the Scotland job now. And I've been seeing on Twitter, I've been kind of just scrolling through, reading the reactions and stuff like that, and everyone seems to be very kind of upbeat about this one, and it seems a very popular appointment, and rightfully so. But a lot of Scotland appointments that's been made in the last decade or so, they've pretty much not lived up to any sort of expectation. That's obviously after they've been appointed, but even when they were appointed, I don't think there was much popularity around the appointments as a whole, and this Steve Clarke one definitely fits that bill. And going into the rest of the campaigns for Euro 2020, then into the World Cup, and still in the UEFA Nations League, I think we're in the playoffs of that now, so there's a lot still to play for. And despite that loss to Kazakhstan, which obviously started us off horrendously in that campaign, nothing is lost just yet. It might seem it just now, but with the right appointment, Kilmarnock proved that they could turn a set of results and a team around and really build for the future. And Steve Clarke's done that at Kilmarnock. Probably when you looked at Kilmarnock before they brought him in, you would have thought a simple managerial appointment won't change this. But bringing the right man in changed it completely for Kilmarnock. So hopefully it has the exact same impact on the Scottish national team, because there's no doubt that this set of fans need reinvigorated, need brought back into the limelight with Scottish football, especially with the national team, because there's a lot of and ahhing with the fans at the moment going to Hampden. There's never really been a full Hampden since that Slovakia game that I went to. I believe that was probably the last time that Hampden was completely full, or at least vast majority full, and the fans right behind the national team. Ever since then there's been that apathy towards the national team, not really caring as much as we once did, and that was all down to kind of what we were seeing on the pitch, coming from the manager, etc, etc. So now hopefully with Steve Clarke bringing a sense of positivity back to the national team, hopefully he can build the right squad, get the right players in. I assume we might see a couple of Kilmarnock players come into the squad, people like Stephen O'Donnell, Greg Taylor, players like that. It'll certainly be interesting to watch what happens with the Scottish national team now, because here we've now got a manager that is really looking to push on in his managerial career, because he's taking the Scotland job with full commitment, and he's definitely a good man for the job. Obviously I said Slaven Bilic, but I said as well that I could see the point of arguing for Steve Clarke as well, because he would have been a terrific fit for Scotland in the managerial position, and he's now taking that up. I believe it's head coach actually, but regardless, he's here now, and hopefully we can build that positivity to now push on and finally get to some form of European competition, because in my lifetime, born in 2000, well, you know the story when it comes to Scotland from then on, because the last competition that we qualified for was the 1998 World Cup, and we've failed to qualify for anything since then. So in my lifetime I've never seen Scotland do piss all, apart from nearly reach European competitions. So this is the chance now, with the right manager at the helm, Stevie Clarke. Obviously I think it's a 3-year deal that he's on, or something along those lines, and he's been given obviously free rein to go and try and qualify for at least the Euros and the next World Cup. So there is that scope there to really be successful with this appointment, and fingers crossed that that's the case, because Scotland, we've been in the wilderness for the last couple of years, so hopefully now this is the right step in the right direction for the national team, and we can finally get the fans back on board and really look forward to going and seeing the national team again. Hopefully the next step is maybe qualifying through the playoffs in the UEFA Nations League, getting to Euro 2020, and then best case scenario getting to the World Cup. That's the main aim for Scotland. No matter how we get there, we want to get to one European competition at least, because it's been that long since we've been to one. We're almost forgetting what it's like. I'd love to see Scotland at a European competition. As I said, never seen in my lifetime, so you've got to see it, and I really want to see it under the management of Stevie Clarke, because there seems to be that much positivity around it now that it should only be right that we qualify for our first European competition in the 21st century under Steve Clarke. But that's it for this video, guys. Cheers for watching. If you did enjoy it, please give it a like. Comment down below what you think of the appointment of Stevie Clarke, and will we qualify for 1, Euro 2020, 2, the World Cup, 3, both, or 4, none. Let me know what you think about that, and subscribe for more of this type of content. And until the next video, which will most likely be a video with Jenny on Wednesday, a new series coming to the channel, I'll see you then. Cheers, guys.